I'm not a sports guy. So let me kind of hedge this. Hedge, is that the word I'm looking for? Let me start this story by saying I think sports are awesome and fun, and I don't want to yuck anyone's yum. And the fact that human beings can still be breaking records, that's awesome. But
there's the butt.
Big butt,
big old butt.
Big old juicy butt.
Beady wheat straw. No, okay. Anyway.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Suddenly beady.
So, whenever I see sports like soccer or football or anything, I'm like a list out sports. Like, what's a sport? I just imagine like I see a dog park. So like I see like small little dogs with like a big inflatable kind of like dodgeball ball, like a bouncy ball, and like just pushing it around with their nose, like, ooh, get it, and they push the ball to the one side, and then they hit the fence, and they push it back to the other side. Just like, and so for me, that's sports. And then, but then you have a bunch of people like wearing all the colors of like, ooh, look. I'm a jet. Oh, he's a jet.
Yep.
He's a duck. That guy's a duck. Oh man, yeah, and then they get so angry if like the ball doesn't like roll to like the side of the area that they don't like. They're, whoa, get the ball over to the other side. Like,
it is kind of insane when you put it that way.
I mean, I understand that like somebody can get back to me. Oh, you like board games and you like to push cardboard pieces on top of another cardboard piece and pretend you're a French lord or whatever. Yeah, of course, exactly. And I think that's equally silly. But sports are like little puppies moving around, pushing it. Oh, I got the ball. He got the ball. Ooh, he's getting it.
One huge dog park.
Yeah, big dog park,
right,
and then
it's
we
a
give
new
him
way
like
to
$40 million.
When I go catch a Mariners game, I'm gonna be like, dogs.
Oh, look, he really got that ball. Well, there's two kinds of sports, right? There's the sports where it's like, get the ball, move the ball. And then the other sports where it's like, I don't want the ball. No, I don't want it. No, you have it. No, you have the ball. No, you have the ball.
A hot potato sport.
Like the tennis is the ping pong. Says, no, I don't want this. No, you have it. No, I don't want it. of the ball sports, yeah. Anyway, that's my hot take on sports. It's little doggies pushing the ball around. Ooh, you did it. You got it over the line. Good job, number 44 duck.
I can see that Jay's also a big fan of alcohol being served at the stadium for coming up with this theory.
I just see things a little differently. That's all, I suppose.
What's funny is I sort of agree for some sports. The sports I don't like.
There you go. Yeah.
I can see it. I can see it. So like
I'll cut you if you encroach in hockey.
Not a huge fan of soccer, I know, and not a huge fan of hockey, despite my me being Canadian.
Oh, I'm gonna tell the moose.
That's fine.
You
can tell the moose, and he can come and get some. Anyways, but yeah, like basketball. I love basketball. I love watching basketball. My family is a basketball.
Get the ball. Put the ball in the little thingy.
It's incredible.
See, that's like a bunch of huskies fucking getting the ball. That one never stops. Like, I need a break. I need a break when I'm watching sports. But like basketball's constant. No.
And it's such a small hoop. It's unbelievable that anyone's able to launch it, half court and get even close to the hoop.
But flame war of comments below. What are you?
I know.
It's still the analogy stands. The analogy stands. Ooh, ball. Get a ball. I got it. And then when like the celebrations after they've got the ball to its sort of like needed place, and they're just, I got the ball there.
The sports I like.
Yeah,
it's understandable.
Let's riot.
And then all the people in the audience.
Sports I like.
Yeah, and then the other people who are wearing the colors that say like the Bills or whatever, and they get mad because the ball went to the other side. They're like, oh, the ball didn't go there.
and fighting ensues.
I mean, again, I'm going to refer back to alcohol, like copious amounts of beer. It definitely helps, to care where that ball goes.
Yeah. And I'm gonna wear clothing that signals that I support the.
Sometimes they're not even wearing clothing. They're like half red, half blue.
And they're supporting the ball movers of their fictional universe. They're giants moving the ball around.
Our ball
Not so
movers are better
fictional,
than
though.
your ball movers.
Yeah. Anyway,
Speaking of balls,
yeah. So actually, I watched like Spaceballs a couple of days ago. Yeah, and again,
I loved that. Yeah.
yeah, it's great. I think it still kind of holds up at parts. It's not the best of the Mel Brooks, obviously. Young Frankenstein is without a doubt like his masterpiece with them.
Ludicrous speed.
Again, arguably, people will say no, it was Blazing Saddles and stuff like that. But no, it's great, and it makes you want to watch more Rick Moranis movies. It's like, miss that guy, man. He was amazing, And there's a moment at the end that will crack me up every time where like Rick Moranis takes a line. Where he's just like, all right, may the best man win. And he goes to get a handshake Lone Star, and he throws the ring. He goes, "Oop, fooled you." And it just makes me laugh
Dude, you're
every
so
time.
stupid.
Yeah, he goes, "Evil will always win because good is dumb." It's just so good. With that just giant phallic helmet that he wears, it's amazing. You know what I mean? And so, this leads us nicely into our topic today. I did it with a sleight of hand right there, which is fool you. Fooling players, right? Okay, so there's clearly ways to do it right and clearly ways to do it wrong, I think. Right? But players like to be fooled. GMs like to be fooled, in a sense. You like twists and turns. You like things going the way that you're not expected. And that's why we pick up books in the end, right? This is what horror and comedy are, right? Comedy is like you set up a premise, left turn, it zigged when it wanted to zag. Horror is sort of the same thing. They're going into the thing. Are they going to make it? Are they going to get killed? They made it. I thought they were going to die. It's just like whoop, 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 whoop. Like, little setting up expectations and then pulling the carpet out.
Little twists.
Little twists.
The little twists.
Little titty twisters.
Whoa.
Coming in, Voice of America.
Okay, so players out there, please take a poll.
Marina.
Do you like titty twisters?
So today we're talking about fooling our players, all right? Now, there are different kinds of fooling. There's, of course, intentional and unintentional fooling, and there's malicious, but we're going for the benevolent kinds of tweests, right?
But never tweests.
Right? We're not doing this to spite someone.
Of course, not a prank. Yeah, you're not trying to have a gotcha moment, But this is where there's a little grayness, a gradience.
There's
fooling.
a huge nuance to like everything from subverted expectations to trickery to setting the stage for a really big reveal. There's way to do it right, and there's way to just really leave a player disappointed as well. And that's what we're exploring here is that nuance in there that's going to make something really spectacular versus just whoop whoop.
Well, and I think the key term here is common knknowledge.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. We're on the same wavelength.
This is where it's concepts that it goes into critical discourse analysis and all this kind of stuff. It's about like, I know that you know that you know that I know that I know that you know, and ad infinitum, right? It's like this sort of like, we all know that the thing means, the red light means stop. right? And the yellow means go faster.
I don't know that. I can't drive.
Says the one from Jersey, because that is in fact how you drive in Jersey.
Yeah. And so it's sort of that common knowledge of, okay, we're gonna play the Call of Cthulhu game. That, and there's a little bit more nuance to the common knowledge that says, okay, this is gonna be a really deadly one, a little bit less pulpy, where you could go into that door and you might just die. Right. Though there's also sort of common knowledge that is of we're getting together a 4-hour block of time for all of us to play, so the chances of my character dying in the first 5 minutes of the gameplay is pretty low too. And so if you kill me off right at the beginning, well, that's kind of breaking a little bit of common knowledge. Fooled you, common knowledge, yeah, right. It's breaking with a convention in a sense, right? So everyone's on board for knowing that their characters might die by the end of the session. Yep. Not at the beginning, but that's the implied common knowledge. And then the common knowledge that's kind of necessary is based on the rules. It's like, okay, we're doing Cthulhu, which sort of sets up the circumstances of character death or going insane or something like that, right?
But I want to feel like it was like 4 or 5 episodes ago, we referenced a session or a one-off where the characters die right off the bat, and you're like, the hell? And then you come back as your real characters to figure out what happened, right? So there's always the exceptions. There's always the ways to pull this off, like with skill. So everything we're saying here is more of like a baseline of where things can go wrong. But if you really work it, if you really work the story and the details, and you make sure that your players aren't left without the essential details to have maybe figured it out by the end. And to me, that's key to it, is you got to be okay that they might learn what the trick is, what the twist is, what the thing is. If they figure out, well, then kudos to you. You solved it early. But if there's no chance that they ever could have seen the thing coming, that's where I think it goes all catastrophically wrong.
Agreed.
Well, one of the ways to do this with the kind of like, okay, I want to kill off characters just so they see that this is a threatening world, is you don't have a lengthy, okay, everyone, think about your backstories of the character, and have if you just have like these pre-made characters that you're passing out, and people go, oh, I'm going to play that guy, and like a real easy pick up and go system, then you could do it, and then everyone's kind of cool with that. Oh, you killed them off. I've made several one-shot games where that's the rules are explained as you play the game. And so, okay, you give them all these space marines, they come in like Aliens 2, they all get kind of wiped out, and now you then give them the characters. Okay, now who are you going to be now that you know what you're up against? And now they're kind of, and then they have now you've reframed the whole story, because now they know the problem, and they're okay. I want to be the scientist guy. I want to be behind the lines and blah 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 blah, whatever.
Yeah, the rules there, like, those are part of the expectations, right? Like if you have a guy who's like spent like 20 hours creating a character, and then suddenly you wipe him off the face of the earth in a second, he's not going to have a good time because he didn't know that this is how it was going to go, right?
Yeah.
So it's also about like knowing your players, right? So
yeah, it's emotional currency. Like there's a pact between the storyteller and the reader or the player that like they're like the burden is on the storyteller to pay back. Like you've already the player, the reader has already invested. They're gonna go along for the ride, and if there's no payout, that's painful. There's a painful backlash to like being let down in that way. So that's a good way that writers think of too. Like there is a back and forth here. There's an agreement. There's a pact. So emotional currency is definitely like an easy thing to hold on to when creating a story.
Love that.
It could be a rules pact. Like we've picked up this game, and so therefore I'm playing 5th edition. I'm expecting the 3 pillars of gameplay and whatnot. Yeah. Okay. There's genre pact. I suppose you pick up a novel or type of thing, and you go, okay, well now I'm in fantasy. I expect magic and elves and dragons and blah 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 blah, blah, right? But then you've got all the outliers like Alan Moore, who just puts all the genres into one thing.
But even you know what you're getting in for. If he suddenly diverted and just told like a vampire story, you'd be like, what the hell just happened, right? It's almost like session 0, but for the payout, right? It's like, as long as we're all agreeing to what's going to happen, you can twist all you want, but there still has to be a payout. There has to be something. Otherwise, what are we doing here?
You're playing a 5-year like medieval fantasy. Then they walk through a door and it's like a simulation in some spaceship, and you're like, "Fooled you!" And you're like, "Oh, come on, no, what the?"
Yeah, you basically said what I was gonna say, which is that like one of the examples that we've talked about multiple times during the game, Chris, is like doing the thing where all of a sudden your characters step through a portal and they're in like 1980s California, you know, and like, wait, what? It's Beastmaster Part 2 or something like that, you know. But if you like kind of set up those expectations early on that something like this, there's going to be it's like a mashup between sci-fi and fantasy or something like that, then okay, then people are expecting that to happen.
Yeah.
And the way in might be to go from the sci-fi world into the fantasy world and not vice versa. For whatever reason, that seems to like work better. And maybe that's why some people had problems with like the Assassin's Creed games, where all of a sudden like, okay, now you're in the future world.
Okay,
like, wait, what? Yeah. Anyway. I
think a big part of it too, if you're gonna do a twist or a tweest, make sure that the tweest is like foreshadowed or at least believable, right?
Yeah.
That way, even if they're caught off guard, the burn ain't so bad.
Right. So one of the things I was thinking about before our recording was, okay, you have a big bad that they've been, you know, over the multiple week session, you're doing a kind of a shorter campaign, 3-month campaign or something like that. And they finally get to the big bad and they kill him. And they're like, wait a minute, but we got 2 more sessions left or something like that. And then, but that's the thing. That's the thing. Okay, so they've killed them, but they know that like, we've set up a kind of a 3-month campaign here. And we're going to end at the end of the year, December or whatever, or something like that. We're going to make new characters. And you kill the big bad early, well, there we go. It leaves opportunity for a healthy twist of saying, no, he's still alive, or it was like his twin, it was like a doppelganger or whatever. Right? You could do something like that because you've presupposed a kind of time limit on the campaign, and then you've done it early. Whereas maybe if you did it another way, the same exact situation, you've killed the big bad, and then the next week he's back again. They're like, wait, what? Like, how did you can't do that? You know, but it's such a subtle little thing. In this situation, the parameters were, we're going to play this story for 3 months. Yeah.
Great.
Right?
Well, you highlight a really important thing there is that there has to, like, we're playing a game at its heart, right? There's certain, again, pacts that you make that there's a certain level of heroicness, accomplishment, whatever. Like, nobody wants to, well, I say nobody, but I'm
not in my
sure
world.
somebody will prove me wrong. But generally, you're there to feel good about yourself. And you expect some level of accomplishment eventually through hard work and effort, right? And exploration and curiosity and all that. So if your ending gamut after a 3-month or 6-month or 1-year campaign is, nope, you didn't do anything, you know, that's gonna suck. That's gonna feel bad, you know? Accomplishment is a big part of what keeps a story going, what keeps people hooked to a narrative, to regardless of what. It's like
Can I jump in?
Yeah.
I want to amend that a little bit because I'm going to push back because I think that people. Well, I agree with you in a sense, but I think the way I amend it is by saying yes, but failure is optional. It's the opportunity for success has got to be there.
Growth is an accomplishment, and growth comes from failure.
Well, okay,
so
but I'm saying like,
100%.
okay, that's the end. Like we attempted the Tomb of Horrors, we all died. Okay, well let's try it again. Try it again next time, or go in even do the same scenario.
Maybe
we got
the
another
success there is having a great story at the end of it, right?
Yeah. And having a path to retrying. Like now you've also kind of like twisted the rules that death isn't the end. So there's a lot of wiggle room here depending on what the physics are of the world.
Board gaming like Pandemic, right? So you're playing the game together. It's a kind of like you all want to try to win the game together, and then if you fail, you're like, oh well, we botched that one up. Let's try it again. And then Pandemic like legacy board games or the wrinkle into this. It's all about twists and turns like that. Okay, so you've played the game, you've lost. Okay, now open this box, which now gives you a new rule to the game when you play it the second time. Or if you had one, now you go down this way, and then it just changes the game.
See, now that's another
really
pillar is curiosity, exploration. Like there are people who just
Yeah.
play MMORPGs like from the start to just explore the whole map, right? There's no winning. You've just had curiosity to explore the whole world, right? There's various rewards, and it's definitely worth looking at there. But yeah,
Yeah, the
rampant
reward is power
curiosity,
fantasy.
zerging the world, just finding out as many things as you can, trying different things like that, throwing shit at the wall. It's also
Yeah.
fun. Yeah, these are all
I'm
rewarding ways to do it.
I'm playing this game because I expect to be able to kind of be the kind of card shark. I'm playing this game because I expect to be the kind of suave, charismatic James Bond figure that, outsmarts the big bad. I'm playing this game because I want to be the barbarian that gets to kill a bunch of mooks and at the end of it has like a wake of, dead enemies in my path or something like that, And if you're not fulfilling those sort of promises, then in a way you sort of fooled your player in a bad way, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of times I don't think it's even with malicious intent.
No,
You've
not
just
at
kind
all.
of set up a situation in which, and this is why a lot of the set paths of like something like 5e all kind of work for what the characters classes in 5e kind of do, which in a way it's all kind of similar. They all have like an attack thing. They all, and it's a combat game, right?
Yeah.
Anyway.
There are a lot of things you can mess with in terms of like twists too. You can mess with like their backstories, their personal details. Again, you got to be very careful with all these betrayals and reveals. So the jester was the one the entire time, right?
Yeah. Kefka.
Right? Oh yeah, there we are. Universal truths or fundamental aspects to the system. So like natural, societal, magical stuff. Illusions, of course. Like you were in a spaceship the whole time. And just like you said, like pattern breaking. Even when you were talking about like the terms or the term that you're playing, I thought that's genius. I've never even thought about doing something where you have 2 more episodes and you're like, wait a minute,
Yeah.
what are we gonna do for these last 2 episodes?
Everyone loves bonuses, right? Bonus content, bonus
flashback.
play.
This is an 8-episode series. Why are we finishing everything at episode 6?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Because we want to go on and write the Star Wars movies. That's a Game of Thrones.
Sick burn. That one's well deserved.
Yeah. I do have an infamous story. So I'm always, curious about like the interaction of like the meta elements of role play and like the mechanics of the role play and like how they kind of interact a lot. And like some of my favorite board games are games where like you can extend a chit or a token to go say like, okay, I'm gonna take this player out into another room and kind of like discuss diplomacy with him, and then you come back to the table and everyone's like, what did you guys talk about? And, secret, what's gonna happen? And so in one of my failed attempts at fooling you, that's gonna get really annoying. In fooling players was in the players were on the going after the big bad who, it was clear that there was like there were spies or someone may or may not have infiltrated the party, so they had to be careful about who they were talking to. So my genius plan at the time was to bring a player in and tell that player, okay, you're going to be the spy, and you're working for the bad guy actually. And he's like, oh, this sounds like a fun idea. Let's do it. And so then just based on things that happen in a gaming session where, it goes a way that you might not expect to this character who was the spy, who was here for just a one shot, and the other character who was like the long-term kind of like campaign player were in the same kind of room together, and they got involved in the combat. And now the campaign player's character fell in combat. And the spy character then had a chance, and the character said to him, like, okay, well, kind of help me up and give me a healing potion or whatever. Instead, the spy does coup de grace and just, like, kills the character right there. And the whole table just, like, erupted in absolute anarchy and
I was
chaos.
at that table.
You were at that table. So ultimately, in the end, it's going to be probably one of all of the players at the table's more memorable moments of D&D. But we had to like stop for an hour and discuss like the ethics of role-playing games and stuff like that.
Gather around, kids, for a lecture.
Yeah, and maybe Chris, would you like to define the arguments of the two camps?
Well, expectations, right? None of us went into this expecting, that one of us is going to betray everyone else.
Yeah.
Let alone the newbie guy.
Yeah, right? We're like, oh, he's joining our group. Yeah, come on in.
Yeah, so that's like two broken social covenants there.
Yeah, it's like inviting everybody over for a movie night and then putting on a porno.
Honestly, it's about that level. That's
You're like, come on, wait, what?
Right.
Wait a minute.
That's pretty damn close.
Yeah.
And so one of our players who he says, yeah, it's like Jay GM, you've sort of broke the social convention that we all expected all the other players around the table to be on our side, and yeah, that's definitely correct. From my perspective,
no new players after that.
Yeah.
we finished off the campaign to spectacular degree. At the same time, I still think that it was like for a game session, a crazy memorable one. And to the player's credit who died, he just ended up accepting the results. He's like, yeah, okay, this is kind of fun for the story in the end. Let's go with it. And so we did.
I was gonna ask if you did like a therapy gift card or something.
What, for all the other players?
At least for the one who got shanked by the noob.
I'd love to hear any other players' stories of like where they've attempted like a twist or attempted to like subvert expectations / fool players. Right in the show notes below. Chris, you've got one.
Chris has got one.
Go on.
I did one, and it was quite bad actually. It turned out horribly. So they were getting off this island of the undead. They're finally on a boat. They could finally escape. And they went under this huge red eye in the middle of the island, in the canals heading out. And this eye, it flashed bright red, and everyone believed that they were still there. So they exited, right? And they fought maybe the most horrific battle that I've ever put them in, right? But this was kind of like they were seeing the future in some ways, right? So one of the player characters died. A lot of NPCs died that they liked, right?
Oh no!
And to the point where the player whose character died, he pretty much ripped up his sheet in anger, right? And was about to storm out. And I told him, no. Sorry. This actually did not happen.
Sorry.
You were actually seeing the future. I had to go right out and say it because I couldn't allow it to. I couldn't allow him to storm out of the house.
Well, I feel like you've already let it go.
Scotch tape to him.
I feel like you let it go too far to get to the point where you like tore up his character sheet. Like you weren't seeing the frustration on the players.
Once that happened, and then he was getting ready to leave, I'm like, okay, no, I can't hold on to this twist anymore, right?
Man.
And again, the problem with this one is I didn't give enough clues to let them know that this was what's going to happen, right?
They might have been in some sort of premonition state, the transition from like the real world to the vision world.
So they went out and they had the same fight, but they already knew what was going to happen, right? So they could prepare themselves and do the right things and survive the battle, right? But oh man, it was just a really bad decision and one that I very much regret.
I don't think you should regret it too hard. I mean, obviously that player must have had a pretty terrible game session to have ripped up their character sheet and stuff like that. But I could see the intent behind it. When you're dealing with like a psychic dream states, or there's a character seeing what's real and what's not real and stuff like that. That requires
But I should have at least indicated something like that was going to happen beforehand, or that was even possible. Because otherwise, they didn't know that it was a dream state or a premonition of the future, right?
And to somehow kind of assure the players' growing frustration of the moment, Like just
Oh,
like
I
okay,
just
just
bailed.
sit. Yeah, just sit in this. Oh no, and I think that's where it maybe escalated so like that. But all right, well let's take a quick break, and we'll go back and after telling some of these horror stories, let's see if let's talk about how one might fool their tables slash GMs in a more effective way and end on a positive note.
Yay!
All right, so this week on the 3RPG podcast, I thought we'd do something a little bit different. And I've sent out a kind of an email to some of my friends, and I said, okay, to some of my non-gamer friends, and asked them, what kind of questions would you have or situations that you've encountered with gaming, board games, TRPG games related, and, just send me a little audio clip, and then we'll play it on the show and answer it. All right, so Sandra and Chris, you've not heard this clip. You don't know what the
No.
listener's question is.
Ooh.
So I'm going to play it for you, then we're going to answer it as part of a kind of maybe, hopefully, ongoing segment of, questions from the non-gamer. And I encourage any of our listeners or friends of listeners, maybe our listeners can ask their non-gamer friends to ask some questions and send to us. Send us an email embedded with either a question or even better, an audio clip of you asking the question to 3rpgpodcast@gmail.com. It's THREETP.
Oh wow!
RPG.
Wow!
Yeah.
There's no T in there.
THREEPG.
What's going on?
THREERPG
Yes.
podcast@gmail.com. Got it. Okay.
We're keeping
All
it
right.
in.
So
Wow.
here's the question.
Yeah, that's your revenge.
Okay, so here's the question.
Hi guys. Sometimes my friends invite me to play a board game or role play game, but I'm quite a realistic person, so it's kind of difficult for me to get into the role, and I get bored in the middle of the game. So how can be the character deeply and enjoy? Thanks. Bye.
So I guess the question was that the game is not realistic enough and they lose interest because they can't relate to the world.
There is they call themselves a very realistic person. They say that they have a hard time kind of getting into the fantasy of the world because they're a realistic person, and therefore the game gets boring. So how can they maintain interest and get into the fantasy element of the character without kind of diverting back to their sort of realism? How do they lose themselves in the fantasy world, as it were?
Pick a fight. Pick a fight with another player. Easiest thing. No, I'm dead serious. I've done this at new tables and new situations. If I'm just kind of I don't know the story, if I'm coming in midway to a story and I just can't lean on any of the story elements, I just pick a fight with somebody at the table in character. And just kind of because we know what emotions feel like. We know what social interactions feel like. And if you can anchor to the things the rest of it you'll start picking up, right? So you just need the entry point into the thing, and usually use your emotions. You use a little bit of anger, use a little bit of charisma, whatever your character is supposed to be leaning on heavily. Just start a fight. It's so easy.
I have a different pitch, but Chris, what do you think?
I would try to look into what their interests are, things that affect them, hobbies, things that they can relate to in that world. I'm sure there's also times when it just won't work, right? And you got to kind of judge whether or not that's even possible. But I'd try to lean into things that they appreciate. Pretty much, that's where I'd go.
Well, yeah, I'm more curious about why the person's showing up to the table at all. Are they really having a good time, or are they doing it
That's
at
true.
the behoovement
True,
of another
true.
friend who's sort of asking them to kind of, oh, could they show up? Can you come with me to this thing? And they're doing it because their friend wants them to go, and so they do
Yep.
it because of that, and they're not really into it as
That's
much.
true.
But now they're feeling themselves wanting to quit, and
Mm.
instead they're sticking it through. In that case, you probably just say that you we could say to the listener, well, why not like have a chat with like the friend or whoever is the gamer that's bringing you to these
Mm.
sessions and say like, actually maybe this isn't my thing, and then don't game. But obviously they're sending us a question, so they have some want to keep gaming
Playing, yeah.
here. Yeah. So I would think that one of my pitch would be that the table should understand, or maybe the caller can actually say to the table like this is my position, and then all the other people can like get really more into it, and
Yeah, make
hopefully
space
that
for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
make space for that person, and then sometimes enthusiasm is sort of if infectious. So if everybody else is not just like kind of playing the game and like because they know all the rules and they're being like this, but they kind of they're getting in and they're like they keep kind of throwing it back to that player like what do you think and da 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 and like kind of make an extra effort to kind of
Getting
put
others
that
involved in it.
character on the spotlight can really help the listener's call, I think.
That is a difficult question, though, because
It
there are
is.
some times when players just don't want to be there, and there's no amount of fixing or changing anything that can actually make a difference. But we're hoping that we can game with everyone.
Well, yeah, I know this as an avid board gamer. I know this all too often. Some not all too often. I think I've been a little bit more astute with like my picks and certainly with my tables. But like, let's say you go out to a kind of gaming convention, everyone kind of sits down. You start playing a game that after like the first turn of the game, you realize, this game is not
yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
But now I've just signed up for like a 4-hour endeavor where I'm just gonna be playing this game, waiting for my turn to do a thing that I don't like. Man, that's a tough one. And it's almost like the
Oh.
whole
No, no,
gaming
no.
community should come up with like an idea and like reuse the X card, but have like the no smoking, like a circle card with a line through it where you just load it up and you'd be like, yeah, I'm good. Like, can I just like jump out of there and just stop playing this thing, Like, so for some reason, people feel intimidated that they can't just say like, yeah, no, I'm not
Well, huge
enjoying this
social
anymore.
pressure, though, right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
It's interesting because at conventions, though, I mean, I just go to like fantasy and gaming conventions and things, so I don't know about other genres and areas, but it's pretty normalized now that if you go into a panel and you don't like it's not what you thought it was, that you get up and leave, and
You
nobody.
just go boo.
No, please don't. I mean, I might cue off of that with something funny, but yeah, like it's really common to go, this isn't this isn't my jam actually, and to get up and leave, and nobody's offended. They're just happy you're going to find something else that you enjoy. So
It's easier with a panel. If you're sitting there with a board game where it's like a
No, no,
5-player
it's
game
totally
and you're
true.
the 5th player, you can't just pick up and be like, okay,
Well,
I'm done.
we should probably normalize though, like, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. And
Yeah,
and
that's
value
right.
your time. Yeah, I made a mistake. Sorry, this wasn't my jam. And then go, because you're actually going to drag down the game if you're really not liking it over the course of 4 hours.
The guts to say that and like
No,
the social
no, it's
pressure
totally
to say
true.
that is so hard, especially when everybody else is having a really good time and you're the one that's not
Totally
having
true.
a good time. So like again, yeah, a non-verbal way to do that might be really interesting.
I got
Maybe,
it.
That would be cool.
You
Yeah,
got
that
it.
would be really
Throw
cool.
Got it.
flick a marshmallow at them.
What you do, you reach into your wallet, you put $100 on the table, and just leave.
Yeah, yeah.
DM gets $100. He's like, okay, I'm fine with that guy leaving.
Everybody knows what it is. Yeah,
Everybody
yeah.
knows. Yep.
Okay, if you do need an easy out to not come back, just beg going to the bathroom. Just go to the bathroom.
Yeah, fart and
No.
shit
You would
your
be able,
pants at the
you would be
table.
able to leave if you did that. Just go to the bathroom and don't come back if you really need the quick out. Don't listen to Jay.
You can't go to the bathroom and not come back because then everyone's gonna be waiting for like your turn and then wait and then like an hour passes.
Oh,
like, wait,
okay,
is
that's
she,
fair.
Is she coming back?
That's fair.
And
When
then
you
look,
come-
look out the window and you see you're running for the car.
I've never ditched before. I would just say
Ditch.
it
You
was.
can ghost.
Yeah.
That's the worst.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, then apologize. I think sorry, this isn't for me. It's your best out. Or novelty socks.
Some people don't like the direct approach. Those people have no problem with leaving a game when they don't like it. They're like, yeah, nah. You know, yeah, nah, yeah, nah, yeah, nah, right? You go, yeah, nah, yeah, nah. Okay, that's what it is. It's a card. Maybe we should put this on like a printable PDF, like a card size thing that just says, yeah, nah.
Yeah, just get these business cards printed out.
With the 3RPG logo in the middle. Yeah, nah.
Okay, you know what? Honestly,
That's
this
awesome.
might be a game convention thing. Like when you get your badge and stuff, there's
Yeah.
there's a 5-pack of these cards that you just use. See?
5-pack? You're gonna be doing that to 5 games?
I don't know how busy you are over the course of 3 or 5 days, you know? You're gonna come into a couple stinkers per your perspective, I guess.
All right. Well, I think we've answered the listeners' questions to such a degree that they have multiple options. One, think about why you're going there in the first place. If you are going there and you really want to get into the game, maybe tell your players your situation, and then hopefully they'll accommodate. If not, yeah, nah.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah, no. Yeah. No.
All right. So moving on to now fooling your players in a good way. Like everyone, it's Halloween has come and gone, but the joys of Halloween are the ideas of getting spooked. I go to the movie to be scared. I want to get fooled. I want to watch a M. Night Shyamalan movie.
No, you don't.
No, I know.
Lies.
Not the later ones.
The Last Airbender.
That happening is one of the best movies ever made. Prove me wrong.
Okay, that is a great drunk movie night.
No, ma'am.
No, man. No, totally,
no, ma'am, no.
Okay, so
Seriously,
Good
your
grief.
drunk movie night. Get that one. It's so
happening.
good.
Yeah, it's happening. All right, so
Yeah, no.
just watch that scene
Oh,
5 times.
we're gonna have to put the clip in the comments, I think.
All right. All right. So how do you appropriately fool? Obviously, we take what we said in the first half, which is like find those ways like that it falls within convention. It falls within convention. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because then if you know that the villain is going to be deadly, you guys are at the tail end of the session. You're playing a game that the players know is deadly. Well, now you can start really throwing some rocks with like plus X modifiers and kill some players and stuff like that. Everyone goes crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you set up all of those principal conditions for fooling.
The fooling.
Yeah.
Or you could have the big bad die in one hit.
Wait a second.
Right. Right.
I think didn't that happen in your campaign?
Yeah.
Die pretty easily.
But it was awesome. It was awesome.
Right.
And they go, what?
Yeah.
Right.
So
Last week.
I want to put this out really quick that I can tell you what the surefire way of screwing this all up is. One simple rule. If you abide by it, you have no, you socially unacceptable little gremlin.
You little noggin.
You little noggin. So, and this is dev editor Sandra talking right now. People get so focused on the big reveal, right? Which can be your big twist, your big everything. What is that thing that you've been building for? And they get so hyper focused on pulling that off that they forget that there's a whole story. Well, they forget the farts along the way. But they forget to build in all of the importance of the story till that twist, right? Like it's so easy to go. You've heard the term the saggy middle, or or in a trilogy that the second book's always the worst. Yeah, it's saggy. It's
I didn't know that was
saggy
the
and
term,
sweaty.
though.
Yeah,
The saggy middle.
yeah, because they don't know what to do between the start where you set all
Diet.
the world up and then the big deal, the big secret,
Sure.
the big everything. You can't. The secret here is to not just have the one big secret. There has to be substance throughout the whole thing, and that's where you set up your big reveal. So if all you care about is that big last detail, the big final battle, the everything, that's when you're gonna just screw it up. So stop hyper focusing on the big twist, the big everything.
I don't want to say the saggy middle. I'd like to instead focus on the saggy resolution.
That too.
And to distinguish it from like the denouement, right, which is like the end of the climactic moment in a sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in this sense, I'm talking about it's always the most boring part of the film for me.
Yeah, totally.
It's like all of the action has been done, the big bad has been defeated. Now like especially in a comedy. Where all of a sudden they say like, oh, for the next 15 minutes of the movie, we don't need any more jokes, and we're gonna try to make this movie about like heart or family or something. What are you doing? Like the only movie that's done it effectively right is Plane, Trains, and Automobiles, which does it, and it does it in like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And it's comedy wall to wall. Then you go like, oh, whoa, okay, that's interesting. But everything else is like, okay, oh, that was the last joke of the movie, and now I just gotta like sit through characters that like we're just vehicles for comedy, like resolve their issues through love. Ugh. No, like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? But, like even an action movie though, it's like okay, yeah, the big bad has been done, and it's like this is why Die Hard again is one of the best action movies ever made. It's like wall to wall action, and then the ending is so fast, it's done.
Yeah, no victory laps. Just be gone, be done.
Yeah. I don't want to watch like Bruce McClane. Sorry.
Wow.
John McClane.
You just mixed
Yeah. I had Bruce Campbell in my brain for some reason. I think,
I was about to say, was that a
when you
matchup?
mentioned that, I was also kind of thinking that too.
right? I don't know how I did. What was that? What was like? There's a weird.
Bruce
like,
Campbell
weird,
in Die Hard
crazy.
10.
Yeah. So I don't want to be in the limo ride with him and his wife on the ride home after the events at Nakatomi Plaza or whatever. Like we're done. We're done with the story. You know what I mean? So yeah, Ghostbusters, another one. Yeah, another one. Yeah. Yeah.
Can there be too many twists?
Yeah. Unless you're setting up kind of a crazy one-off, like if all the physics are bent, then yeah, you can get away with like a constant twist, but not long term.
You know, like, does there have to be a campaign that has no twist to balance out the crazy twist that's coming next time, or does every campaign need a twist?
Well, no, I don't think every campaign needs a twist at all.
No,
Sometimes like a nice, tight, small story is like get the MacGuffin, bring it back. It's
but not a
awesome. Yeah, it
twist.
definitely needs a challenge. Yeah, I think maybe in a way one can say any movie series that you've liked the first one that's kind of gone on too long is they put in too many twists, many twists and turns, too many things where it's gone away. Where it's like, oh, really? It's that now? Oh, they're taming aliens. Like in
It's
the
Jump
new
the
TV
Shark
show.
is too many
It's Jump the
twists.
Shark. Yeah. No, but we're talking about how to do good.
Well, limiting your twists is a way of doing it well.
I'm gonna say that the way to replace having too many twists, like leaning on that crutch, is you need to tap into the emotions. Emotions are always the right thing, but they're hard. So I feel like if something's just like, oh, this is cliche, because twist and cliche are like best buds, right? So if you're leaning on those kind of things, they're quick fixes. They're not going to give you the rich depth you're looking for. So try to tap into the emotions of a thing or the rigidity of a specific character. Like I had a great example of like, if you have a paladin in your story, like play into their rigidity of their faith, things like that. That's your push pulls, right? Versus just, throwing the atypical like, oh no, now you're with an atheist, kind of, and hilarity ensued, right? Kind of stuff like that.
This is why like close-up magic or just like magic in general, as in like magic like Penn and Teller, like doing on-stage magic and stuff like that, is sort of like leaps and bounds. Like it's all about being fooled. That's the entire thing. And so and therefore what makes the trick like almost like meta interesting is like you go up to a magic trick wanting to be fooled, and then you're fooled in a way that you didn't expect to be fooled. Like Penn and Teller does this amazing thing of like the cups and balls routine, where it's like the 3-card Monty, but it's like the like little cups and like little things and balls, and like, oh, where's the cup? Where's the ball? And they lift it up. It's not in that one. You thought it was in this one. No, it's not. It's in this one, right? And then they do the whole routine again with then transparent cups.
Yeah, it's amazing. I know exactly the one you mean.
I love it. I love
It's
that.
awesome. It's the best thing ever, right? And so I think this could be a way to do fooling your players great, right? It's almost like the name of the episode could be "Fool Us" 3RPG version or something like that, right? It's like you do the twist, and then you kind of relive the moments. It's like the end of
Usual Suspects?
the end of the Usual Suspects, yeah, where you then like kind of like play back all the scenes that kind of like led up to the twist. That like because if the players are then like, nah, that couldn't have possibly happened, then that's when you do it.
Well, that's almost the murder mystery model. Like,
It's the
okay,
murder
and
mystery model,
here's
yeah.
all of the things that led to our, big deal.
Right.
And that was one thing I was going to mention is study the murder mystery formula. That's such a great way to start adding twists that matter, that make sense, that connect, because they have to connect.
I like the idea of doing a twist on a twist. So kind of like there's like a red herring almost, right? Where you think it's everyone's sure that it's the the advisor to the king that's done the whole thing, but it's actually a brain parasite that's controlling the advisor, right?
Oh, no,
Right.
Too real.
Oh no! Did I step in some orange?
The fact that it took us this long to even get to the murder mystery model is almost a travesty, right? Because you've got like Lovecraft and Agatha Christie, who are two very spatial writers. You get a very clear space of like where things are, all the time with like maps even included and all that kind of stuff. And for me, the best murder mysteries are the ones, and this is television included, where you sort of play along, right? You know all the facts, you know the details, and you can kind of deduce it almost like before the characters, because maybe the character didn't quite talk to this person and you're getting it via narration of another character or something like that. The worst ones are when like Poirot just disappears for half of the story and like goes to like London and he's not there, and then he comes back and he's like, I went through the tax records and here's the answer. And it's like, wait, what?
The modern
like,
Sherlock does this. It's just like they don't connect the dots enough and you don't feel the payoff at the end. Like too many random shit pops up.
Yeah. Oh, I realized it because he had blood on his sneakers. Well, you didn't show us his sneakers ever.
Yep.
So how was I supposed to know that and stuff like that? So like
Well, I
that's
guess
the
I'm
kind of stuff
dumb.
about me playing along. Yeah. And so, but what you can do, and maybe players are saying, okay, well, if you're the DM, you start mentioning sneakers. All of a sudden, then you've never done that in any of your games. You're gonna know sneakers are part of the plot.
No, but mention
this is
footprints. Mention the satellite things to the thing. That's too obvious.
flood the zone, right? You flood the zone with over description,
I see.
lots of details. So
or that,
the
hide
sneakers
it
are
in
one
there.
of the things. Yeah. It's all. So you red herring the hell out of it because
Yeah.
then one of the things that was there was, so it was always there to be noticed.
But you didn't know which one to notice.
You didn't know which one to notice.
Honestly, marketing. Marketing is the way to reimagine this. It's like, how do you get somebody to think about shoes without directly telling them think shoes? Like, if you learn some marketing, you'll learn the magic behind getting somebody to think a thing without directly thinking about the thing.
Yeah, exactly. Common knowledge and playing with that idea.
So talk with marketers and magicians.
Yes.
I'm.
That sounds like the title, Marketing and Magicians.
I brought to mind a TV show with Natasha Lyonne called Poker Face. I don't know if you've seen any of this.
Oh, not yet.
I think it's excellent, and it follows the kind of Columbo model. But one of the things that I love the most about it is you play along in a different way. You play along in the sense that each episode begins with the murderer committing the crime, which you watch in full, more or less.
Okay.
There's a few exceptions. And then it then kind of rewinds time and then catches up to the kind of the main character whose superpower is basically that she could tell when people are lying because she's like a poker player or whatever, but she just knows instantly, oh, that's a lie. Like that's her superpower essentially, right? But like we catch up to her then coming onto the scene or being somewhere in the periphery of the scene and then figuring out the clues that we already know. And so the fun of the show is then like how the writers cleverly introduce ways for her to figure out the things that we already know, and so you're playing along in a way of like, oh, this is where she figures out this is, and then then how she's gonna draw the pieces together and stuff like that.
Okay.
I think there could be a way to sort of do that at the table by like maybe having the players be like bank robbers, plotters who then do the plot, and then have them go over to then be the investigators trying to catch their previous selves who tried to cover it all up, but they already know it. And so as players, they are they don't want to just like solve the mystery instantly, because then your game night's over, right? So they know the things that they had just done as bad guys, and then they've got to they need out when they discover those things sort of along the way, and that could be a really fun murder mystery night RPG game that I'm going to design now.
Yeah. Yay!
So basically, you get to see like the brain parasite come out of the advisor's head at the start, and then they have to figure a way to find this out as players.
And then how I even got there in the first place. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fun.
That's
very
cool.
fun.
That's
Very fun. You can fool everybody in one shot. Don't get buy-in from your fellow players. Don't get buy-in from your GM. If you see a really cool thing to just unilaterally do it, and then let the other players react to it. We were supposed to do plan A, and I decided plan A is too damn dangerous. It's probably going to get us killed. On the fly, came up with plan B and just went with it and didn't tell them anything. Just went, yeah, no, I just agreed to the mini bad's plan, and I'm gonna walk away with a bunch of his minions, as a mini army. And they're like, what the hell is she doing? We were supposed to kill him, and I trusted them to kill this mini army for me while I'm leading them down. And they did. They totally did what I was expecting them to do. But they had a crisis of faith moment where they're like, is she bad? Is she? Because they were debating this already. So yeah, just unilaterally just puts people on the spot. It's fun. It's super fun.
Fool your other players.
Yeah. And trust them to do the thing,
And then you pull out a card that says they are going to do this, and then they're all like, "What?
Whoa!"
Well, the thing about the yeah nah card is it's reversible. You flip it over to this, it goes nah yeah.
Yes.
All right. Well, I think that is a good ending point. What do you think? Anything else to say about Fool You?
I'm gonna throw in just one little thing because it's just fresh on my mind from last
Fool
week.
You! This is the end of the episode. We still got
pizza.
No. The 3RPG podcast is produced and performed by Sandra Rosner, Chris Takasaki, and Jay Underwood. Music and audio editing, mix, and master is done by Jay Underwood, art by Chris Takasaki. If you'd like to be a guest on the show or have any questions, please email us at 3rpgpodcast@gmail.com. If you would like to support the 3RPG podcast, please visit our Patreon or visit our website at www.3rpg.com. That is THREERPG.com.